Before she was a saint, she was a widow. And before she found God, she found vengeance. Settle in, my friends. This is the story of Olga of Kiev. In the 10th century, the Drevlian tribe murdered Igor, leader of the Kievan Rus. And to add insult to injury, they sent 20 of their best men to his wife, Olga, to suggest that she marry their prince and join them. They believed she was just a grieving woman. And they were mistaken. Olga greeted them. She said she was honored and she commanded that their boat be carried to her court. It was a sign of high respect. But her soldiers, they carried the boat to a trench that had been dug the night before, and they threw every last one of them in. And as they were buried alive, it's reported that Olga leaned over the edge and asked if the honor was to their taste. She then sent word to the Drevlians requesting their most distinguished nobles come to escort her. They sent their best chieftains, and Olga demanded that a bath be prepared for her guests. And after all the men were in the baths, she had the bathhouse burned to the ground with them inside. Next, Olga traveled to the city where Igor had been killed to hold a funeral feast. And the Drevlians, seeing that she was being escorted by a very small partition, well, they joined her, and she encouraged them to drink and drink and drink until they were all hammered out of their minds. Then she quietly gave the signal, and all 5,000 men were butchered drunk. She then laid siege to their capital, and after a year of siege, she vied for peace. She requested a peace tribute, 3 pigeons and 3 sparrows from each home. And the exhausted city, well, they eagerly agreed, thinking that they had gotten off easy. But you should know Olga by now. No, she had her soldiers bind smoldering cloth to each one of the birds' legs, and then they set them free to go and return to their nests in the rafters of the buildings of the cities, the eaves of the thatch roofs. And overnight, the whole city burned to the ground. And so she had all of the fleeing survivors either butchered or enslaved. And that, my friends, is the story of how Saint Olga of Kiev avenged the murder of her husband. Stay bloodthirsty. See you next time.